to fall at any moment. And indeed, during the 6 months I'd spent as a double agent for Dawn, the precariousness of our situation was driving me toward paranoia. The prophets held all the power, while we were struggling just to survive, to avoid being discovered, captured, killed. Though we tried to keep hope alive, the futility of our situation was obvious. Even if we managed to reveal the truth, the simple act of revealing that truth would likely cause the death of anyone who heard it. Guilt at questioning the word of the prophets, that was all it took to cause a lethal punishment. Just about every human being on Earth believed these people were direct mouthpieces to Great Spirit, believed that mankind's very survival relied on following their proclamations. And, to a certain extent, weren't they right? Mankind was thriving under their leadership. With the world united under one ideology, we'd finally been able to put aside our differences and live in peace. Now that crime itself carried a swift and sometimes deadly punishment, the world had not witnessed war or large-scale violence of any kind in a decade. But, unlike the rest of the world, most of whom still believed what they were told about the origins of this phenomenon, I'd eventually learned it wasn't judgment from on high causing our punishments. It was the chemicals in our brains associated with guilt. I'd learned that there was a network of tiny machines whirring beneath my skull. Nanotech. These machines monitored everything we felt, and when they sensed guilt, they caused the physical changes we referred to as punishment, making their host uglier, sicklier, sometimes even monstrous-looking. Our seeming utopia wasn't the work of Great Spirit, but the sinister creation of humans. I never would have believed any of this until I saw it with my own eyes. And once that happened, and especially once I started working with the resistance movement trying to expose the truth, lies became my daily means of survival, a routine I fell into. Eating breakfast with my dad every morning, walking to class with my best friend, Macy, chattering away as if nothing had changed. But it had. Everything had. And the strain of it all was changing me, sometimes in ways I didn't like. By the time I made it to my high school graduation, I already felt like an imposter in my own life. These kids I'd once thought were my best friends were already strangers, their happiness so alien to me. My goal to take down the prophets filled every fiber of my being, consumed my thoughts. But I still felt lost, adrift somehow. Back when I'd believed my sole purpose on this planet was to glorify Great Spirit, my task seemed simple enough. All I had to do was live my own life with courage and conscience. But what I was doing now? The sheer size of our undertaking overwhelmed me. I couldn't imagine my actions making a dent in the problem at hand. As important as I knew our goal was, it felt impossible. Doomed. Maybe if we'd had leadership I trusted more, things would have been better. But ever since the disastrous op in West Virginia, one that had left dozens of innocent scientists dead, I was wary of Dawn's motives, wary of her methods, as if I needed any more people to be wary of. She'd promised to keep me in the loop about our strategy if I helped her, and at first she made good on that promise. But after I graduated from high school and started at NYU, Dawn went radio silent. Based on the messages she sent through intermediaries, I got the sense that she was in some kind of trouble. While I worried for her, I also felt stranded. And more like I'd made a terrible mistake signing up for all this. The only person I knew for sure I could trust was Jude, my childhood next-door neighbor and first love. Dawn had saved his life after a nearly fatal punishment, and in return, he'd given up his identity to help her cause, to help her save others. I hadn't seen him since we'd made our plan to run away together 6 months.